Good afternoon and welcome to the Public Service Commission's hearing in docket number 2020-238T regarding the application of Budget Movers of Augusta Incorporated for a Class E Household Goods Certificate of Public Convenience and Necessity. We will begin by taking a roll call of the commissioners present, either in person or virtually. District 1.
Commissioner Williams is present virtually.
District 2. Oh, that's me. Sorry. I'm president of the hearing room. District 3.
Caston present in the virtually.
District 4.
Irvin present virtually.
District 5.
Thomas present virtually.
District 6 is on military leave and is not joining us for the hearing. And District 7.
Present virtually.
Thank you, Commissioners. Ms. Dukes, would you read the docket, please?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Madam Vice Chair, and good afternoon, everyone. This proceeding before the Public Service Commission in docket number 2020-238-T concerns the application of Budget Movers of Augusta Incorporated for a Class E Household Goods Certificate of Public Convenience and Necessity. The hearing is scheduled to begin today, Thursday, December 17th, 2020, at 2:00 p.m. We are holding this hearing virtually due to the COVID-19 pandemic. There has been no objection and no intervention. Madam Vice Chair and other commissioners, the docket is in order.
Thank you, Ms. Dukes. We'll take appearances from the parties now. Who is appearing for Budget Movers of Augusta Incorporated?
Charlie Toraney, Madam Vice Chairman.
Good afternoon, Mr. Torini. And who is appearing for the Office of Regulatory Staff?
Good afternoon, Madam Vice Chair. Chris Huber here for the Office of Regulatory Staff.
Good afternoon, Mr. Huber. Mr. Torini or Mr. Huber, are there any preliminary matters we need to take up before we begin the testimony?
Madam Chair, I would like to take this opportunity to introduce into evidence the application in this matter. I'll just list them all if that's okay. The affidavit of our shipper witness, Ms. Jackson, I believe, and I would also point out and introduce an amended fit, willing, and able page to the application, which was pre-filed as well earlier this week. The only amendment to that page is showing that the applicant is exempt from the DOT rating rather than having one pending. So I'd like to move those into evidence at this time.
Okay, let's see, Mr. Torini. Let's go through this. The application filed on 10/6, and then will be marked for hearing exhibit number 1 and received into evidence. Mr. Huber, if you have any objections, you need to stop me as we go, okay?
No objection.
Let's see, and with the application, you indicated a revised page 7, was it?
Yes, ma'am. The fit, willing, and able exhibit, I believe that's a page 7.
Okay, the FWA exhibit. And when was that filed?
It was filed on the 10th, I believe.
Okay, I'm showing a note that page 7, well, that's the fit, will, and enable page. Okay, the 16th maybe? We'll mark that for hearing.
I'm pulling up the docket. I was going from memory.
That's fine.
16th.
The revised fit, willing, and able page will be marked for hearing as hearing exhibit number 2 and received into the evidence of the case. The shipper witness affidavit of Ms. Jackson will be marked for identification as hearing exhibit number 3 and entered into the record of the case. And I think is that it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Torini. You want to proceed with your witness?
I would, thank you. We call Mr. Jim Furlong.
Mr. Herlong, would you state your name for the record for me?
My name is James Furlong.
And the court reporter will administer the oath to swear you in, please.
Mr. Furlong, can you hear me? Can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
Mr. Torini?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Ms. Furlong, could you, please tell the commission your business address, please?
My business address is 4001A McDaniel Road, Augusta, Georgia, 30909.
Can the court reporter hear Mr. Furlong? I just want to be sure.
She's nodding her head. He is kind of
I'll take
soft, so if he can speak up, it would help all of us probably. And Mr. Torini and Mr. Huber, we have a new court reporter, so if you have to object or interrupt, would you please state your name so she knows who's speaking? Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Furlong, did you prepare or cause to be prepared 5 pages of pre-filed testimony in this docket?
Yes, I did.
Do you have any corrections or additions you wish to make to this testimony?
No, I don't.
And if I asked you the questions in this testimony today, would your answers be the same?
Yes.
I've moved to introduce the pre-filed testimony of James Furlong into the docket at this time, Madam Chair.
Mr. Furlong's testimony will be entered into the record as if given orally from the stand.
Furlong, did your testimony have 2 exhibits, an Exhibit A, a tariff, and Exhibit B, a bill of lading?
Yes, it did.
And did we file a corrected version of the tariff in, that was attached to your testimony this morning?
Yes.
Do you have any other changes that you would like to make to your, to either the tariff or the bill of lading?
No, sir.
Madam Chair, I would introduce the Exhibit A and B, tariff and bill of lading, that were attached to Mr. Furlong's testimony, and I've moved them into evidence at this time.
Mr. Torini, if I can just ask for clarification, are you wanting the original Exhibit A or the one that was filed this?
I apologize, Madam Chair. The corrected Exhibit A, which was filed, pre-filed with the commission this morning, and sent to Ms. Dukes.
Okay. We will, this will be marked as hearing exhibit number 4, and that will be the corrected Exhibit A and the bill of lading that was attached to Mr. Furlong's testimony. And that's Exhibit 4, and it's admitted into the evidence of this case.
Thank you. Mr. Furlong, what is your position with the applicant Budget Movers?
I am the president of Budget Movers, Incorporated.
Budget Movers of Augusta
Yes,
Incorporated?
Budget Movers of Augusta Incorporated.
And how long have you been with this company?
For about 10 years.
And did you organize this company? Are you the founder and owner of it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let's tell the commission a little bit about your background in the moving business. How long have you been in the moving business, Mr. Furlong?
Over 30 years, my whole adult life.
And where have you worked in the moving business?
I've worked all over the United States, primarily in Augusta, Georgia, but I was a truck driver for a little over 10 years, traveling all throughout the United States.
Now, you don't sound like you're from Augusta. Where are you from originally?
I'm from Maine.
Okay, from Maine?
Northeaster, yep.
And when did you come down here?
I came down here, I originally came down when in the Army, in 1981, and then I actually moved down here in about 1985.
Where were you stationed in the Army?
I was stationed at Fort Benning, Georgia.
Okay. And when you moved to, when you say down here, you mean Georgia?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I'm sorry, I'm in Georgia.
And that's where your business is organized now?
Yes, sir. In Augusta and in Savannah.
Now, you previously worked with another company. What was that company?
I've worked with several different moving companies. I've worked with Anthony's Mover that I started right from the beginning as a warehouse helper, moved up to a warehouseman, to a truck helper, to a driver, and went all the way up the ladder to general manager. Then I left there. I went to another moving company, became a general manager there, helped them set their place up. And then from there, I started another company called Mr. Third Party, which is an accessorial company to moving companies. And 20 years ago, in 2001.
Tell the commission a little
I'm
bit
sorry to interrupt, but we're having difficulty hearing Mr. Furlong. If you could speak up or get closer to the microphone, it would be helpful. Thank you.
Can you still hear us?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay.
Can you give me a,
We've got a microphone closer to Mr. Furlong, and we're gonna ask him to speak up as well.
I will try to speak up louder.
please? We don't want to miss something.
It's all good, too. Ms. Furlong, let's tell the commission a little bit more about Mr. Third Party. What is an accessorial moving service?
An accessorial moving company is actually a liability company. When we go in and we move stuff or we package stuff that the moving companies really don't dare to do, like washers, dryers, ice makers, dishwashers. We take apart and put together furniture like German wall units, Kia furniture. We do specialized crating for glass and marble, safes, pianos.
So who are your customers?
My customers are actual moving companies. There's 10 national brokers that we deal with, and then we deal with a bunch of local customers in Augusta, Columbia, Savannah, all over, a radius of about 200 miles.
So it would be fair to say it's a company that provides specialized services for moving companies.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let's talk about budget movers a little bit. How many employees do you have at Budget Movers presently?
Right now we have about 9 employees.
And how many trucks do you have?
We have 8 moving vehicles in an SUV or van.
Okay. And it's a little bit cumbersome to do, but I'm going to try to share my screen here. And maybe you can see those. Are those a pair of your trucks
Yeah.
there?
Yeah.
What kind of trucks are those, Mr. Furlong?
Mr. Torini, I don't
one
believe we're seeing that.
Oh, well,
There we go. Now we have it.
okay, good.
Okay. The truck that's being shown right now is S5500 standard moving truck, which I bought from U-Haul. We're actually seeing a moving truck on the outside, and we're seeing the different moving truck on the inside. The moving truck that you're looking at with the pads and everything,
Yes, sir.
that is actually a diesel Freightliner truck. All of my trucks, every truck I have, has brand new pads in it, brand new equipment, material. The only reason that those trucks are yellow is because we have not had them painted and lettered yet. They're relatively new to us, and we favor all of our vehicles to be painted with our emblems on them.
And I'm not going to try to roll back through that PowerPoint, but the commission may not have seen that the first truck we were showing them was painted yellow. It sort of looked like a school bus truck, but you said you're about to paint it.
Yes, we believe in painting because we want people to see who we are. we use it as a form of advertisement.
Okay. Now, when you hire employees, do you have contract employees or do you keep them on payroll?
All of our budget employees are payroll employees, all W-2s, and they're all covered with, workman's comp and all that.
Okay. And do you perform background checks on your employees?
Yes, we do.
Okay. And do you do drug testing?
Yes, we do. We drug test all of our drivers upon employment, and of course along with background check and all that. And we do random testing if there's need for it. I mean, if someone comes in looking all messed up or whatever, then we'll need to do a random drug test.
Okay. And how do you train your employees?
We have several different methods. We actually have meetings, seminars every couple of weeks where we go over the full move with all the employees. It's a standard practice that we do. And then we actually get videos online as far as moving and packing and how to treat your shipper and all that. We also have trainers that go around from job to job to make sure that the shipper's happy, make sure the guys are doing all right, make sure there's nothing going on that shouldn't be going on, and make sure everything is going on that should be. And they also help train employees out on the job.
Let's talk about what your plans are for South Carolina. Do you have an office?
Yes, we do. We have an office at 2822 Commerce Drive that we share with another mover. And we intend on putting another office up in Greenville when the time comes, for that.
Now, when you say you share that office, you're not in business in South Carolina yet, are you?
No, sir, we're not. No, not for budget, we are not.
Okay. Now, will you hire additional employees for South Carolina?
Absolutely. We intend on hiring in the towns that we have our businesses in.
Okay. How about vehicles? Will you need more vehicles for your business?
Yes, sir. As the business develops and grows, we will be needing more vehicles.
I'd like to talk about your insurance. Do you have liability insurance?
Yes, sir.
Do you know the amount of your insurance?
I believe it's $750 for
liability?
For liability and $100,000 for
Cargo?
cargo.
Let's talk about your tariff a little bit. You have a tariff, and we filed a corrected one that really was just changing a few typos, but nothing substantive. Do you have your tariff in front of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you also have a bill of lading. We introduced that as well.
Yes, sir.
Do you understand how you have to charge customers in South Carolina with a tariff?
Yes, sir, I do.
How is that?
We charge them by the hour, and what we do is, what we're going to do is, our time starts when we leave our office, and when we get to when we get to the shippers, time goes all the way through, and when we get done, we estimate the time from the destination to our shop, and you just subtract the starting time from the ending time, and that gives you your hours minus any breaks or lunches.
And you have some special charges in that tariff as well for certain items?
Yes, sir, for pianos, safes, and such.
And some limits on what you'll do and what you won't do?
Yes, sir. We offer a discount to senior citizens, and it says what we will do as far as carrying pianos up no more than 5 stairs.
I was interested in that. I don't think I've ever seen that. The limit on 5 stairs. Is that? Is that because pianos are particularly tricky?
Particularly tricky, and we don't necessarily believe that pianos and safes should be put up on, you know, second and third floors.
Yeah.
It's just a weight per inch thing, I guess.
Now, in South Carolina, you understand you have to charge the tariff rate.
Absolutely.
Is it different in Georgia?
It's a little bit different, yes, because we go by weight and distance after after so many miles. And here, we're charging by the hour.
Does Georgia have a maximum rate? Or?
Yes, they have a maximum tariff, and you can charge pretty much what you'd like to under their set tariff rate.
I see. But you, in South Carolina, you won't be doing that.
No, we can't do that. We cannot have binding estimates in South Carolina. And like I said, we have to charge from our office to the residents, and then from the hours that we work at the residence and the origin and destination, and then on the way back, we add in how long it would take from the destination to our office.
Yes, sir. And you understand you have to have a bill of lading with each of your moves?
Yes, sir. On every time we transport, you know, a job or whatnot, we have to have the bill of lading.
Okay. How are you planning to reach your customer base?
We have several ways of reaching our customer base. We work with other moving companies through Mr. Third Party, and we made a lot of friends. So we do get jobs from other moving companies that get Uber booked in the summertime and stuff like that. And then we have our we advertise through Thumbtack, Yelp, friends, and most importantly, word of mouth.
Okay. And are you financially able to carry on business in South Carolina?
Yes.
Are there any outstanding court orders or judgments against you anywhere?
No, sir.
Or your company?
No.
Have you ever been convicted of a crime?
No.
Okay. Are there any complaints that have been filed against budget movers with the Better Business Bureau, the Chamber of Commerce, or the Georgia Public Utilities Commission?
No.
Do you agree to comply with the statutes and regulations governing household goods movers in South Carolina?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Why, and you alluded to this, you mentioned a little bit about it, but I would like to finish your testimony with you telling the commission your plans for South Carolina over the next 5 years with budget movers.
We plan to grow extensively. We are only located outside of South Carolina in Augusta. We wish to put an office up in Columbia initially, which we're on our way to do, and run out of here. But we hope to get a hold of enough business to help us gain more trucks. We hope to start another business up in Greenville, and maybe even in Myrtle Beach, because we want to try to cover all areas of South Carolina.
Mr. Furlong, thank you for your testimony today. Please answer any questions that the ORS may have for you or the commissioners.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Huber, any questions for Mr. Furlong?
No questions from ORS. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioners, questions for Mr. Furlong? Any commissioners? Okay. Mr. Torini, we're back to you.
Concludes our case, Madam Chair.
Ms. Dukes, anything? Mr. Furlong, you're excused as a witness. I believe that concludes this case. We appreciate you appearing today to make your case. Mr. Torini and Mr. Huber, it's always a pleasure to have y'all before the commission. Oh, yeah.
Thanks, man.
Mr. Huber, do you have anything to present?
No, Madam Vice Chair, we filed a letter yesterday stating we had no pre-filed testimony and that,
You wish,
based on our inspection review, we felt the applicant would meet the requirements of fit, willing, and able.
do you wish to
Mr.
put
McGill
that,
is here if there are any questions.
do you wish to put that letter into, evidence?
Yes, we do.
That will be marked for identification as hearing exhibit number 5 and entered into the record of this case. Commissioners, anyone have any questions for Mr. McGill? Okay, hearing none. Mr. Huber, thank you. And I think now we're ready.
Thank you, Madam Vice Chair.
Now we're ready to close. I apologize for jumping the gun there. I'm not used to it ending so quickly, I think. But thank you all for being here, and we will notify you of our decision at a later date. With that, this hearing is adjourned. Thank you very much.
Thank you,